from the Canadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Coming up in the news tonight, officials predict $15 cap on a gallon of gas could be in jeopardy as oil prices jump following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Royal Grenada Police forced to develop better strategies to solve crime with the launch of Premise app. Students with special needs to get extra attention following learning interruptions caused by COVID-19. Coming up regionally, Guyanese health practitioner believes COVID-19 shots could become an annual requirement. Internationally, 57 people killed, over 160 wounded as Russia invades Ukraine. And coming up a little later in sports, Grenada Football Association Premier League resumes this weekend after 6 months. The details of these and other stories are straight ahead. Stay with us.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh with the details. Top story tonight. The forecasted drastic increase in gas prices globally has become reality as Russia's invasion of Ukraine has thrown the rest of the world into a tailspin. And while the invasion may be happening thousands of miles away, its impact could be felt right here in Grenada through the cost of commodities such as food and gas. Gerard Joseph has tonight's top story.
One of the worst possible outcomes following a global crisis has been realized as Russia officially began its invasion of Ukraine earlier Thursday morning. World food prices, inflation, and increased cost of freight are factors countries such as Grenada are already facing due to the recession caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is now compounded by the Russian war on Ukraine. Private sector Senator Christopher Diali, in an interview earlier this week, had pointed to the cap on gas prices as one of the areas that may be impacted. He believes the Grenadian economy cannot sustain such a situation for a long period, especially for local businesses heavily dependent on the industry. According to Reuters, oil prices jumped on Thursday, with Brent rising above $105 a barrel for the first time since 2014, after Russia's attack on Ukraine exacerbated concerns about disruptions to global energy supply. ABC 13 is reporting that with the United States to implement economic sanctions on Russia, it means even higher gas prices, which will be sudden and significant.
You know, the Russian invasion of Ukraine could have some serious impacts almost right away here in the U.S. In fact, U of H energy expert Ramanan Krishnamurti says if the conflict overseas drags out, worst case, it could spike gas prices prices to $5 and last for several months. So currently, about 10% of the world's crude oil comes from Russia. He says higher gas prices won't just affect us at the pump. It also means higher prices on just pretty much everything that we're buying, on top of us already dealing with inflation. If gas prices increase by $1, that will bring us to $4.20, the highest since 2000, as I mentioned, when gas peaked at just $4.
GBN reached out to Energy Minister Gregory Bowen to find out whether Grenada will be able to sustain the $15 cap on local gas price, which was implemented in December. However, up to news time, a request from the Prime Minister's press secretary for an interview with Minister Bowen did not materialize. Meanwhile, private sector Senator Christopher Diali, prior to the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, indicated that the solution is a strong signal for Grenada to push forward with renewable and alternative sources of energy.
That is one side of the equation. But let's take Guyana, for example, where Guyana is going to become a huge producer of oil and gas. For them, this is great, and for the companies investing. At the end of the day, could we strike arrangements with Guyana that could give us oil and gas at a cheaper rate for our region, so that the full dependency as we move away from it, although we wouldn't be totally away from it, but as we change our energy consumption and diversify it with alternatives, the question becomes, how we could form agreements and arrangements within our own CARICOM community that works to our advantage and not have to depend on external factors of bringing in all these fuels and so on that will constantly keep increasing our costs. So, for example, if we were to move our electricity production from diesel to gas, and we could get gas cheaper from the region 10 years, 15 years from now, or geothermal, would that be an alternative that we should look at now to prepare for these crises that may come?
Senator Diali said such a move will reduce the effects of rising oil prices due to what has transformed into evasion on the local economy. He noted that as countries go into renewables and reduce dependency on fossil fuels, oil companies will seek to make as much as possible. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The vetting process for the voter registration list, which is publicized and posted in the various constituencies, does not stop at the parliamentary elections offices. Citizens are being reminded about the importance of reviewing and reporting any discrepancies they may note in the electoral process. Here's Gerard Joseph once again with that report.
Supervisor of Elections Elvis Moraine is urging citizens to get involved in the process of vetting the voters' registration list now and not wait until an election is called. The election tension is palpable in the air since the National Democratic Congress announced 7 of its caretakers last week, and the new National Party prepares to host its convention on Sunday. Mr. Moraine says in the midst of the election fever, the office is committed to maintaining the integrity of the voter list.
So we are asking persons now to do that, to get involved in the process. Don't wait. We have seen persons wait until an election. Let us start doing it now.
Voter and Civic Education Officer at the Parliamentary Elections Office, Ferdinand Phillip, notes that the vetting and verification process for the voter list begins at parliamentary elections offices.
However, the process doesn't end there, because this is where the general public comes in, and we keep on emphasizing to the public that they need to continuously scrutinize that list.
However, Moraine says the power lies with the people.
No, there's no way, Mr. Carter, that this office can really sit down and validate that Mr. Carter is living excellence. Because it means I would have to sit out in your village or by your house, right, for an extensive period of time to ensure to say, well, look, for certainty that you are not residing there. And that is why the power of the entire population in ensuring that this is done.
Philip says legislation dictates that the voter list is posted at post offices, medical stations, other government offices, as well as business places. The Voter and Civic Education Officer says the list can also be found online.
As of a few years ago, the information was made available online. So persons in the privacy of their home, you wouldn't find that in our legislation. But because of technological advancement, we thought it would have been a disservice to the general public not to make that facility available to them. And so persons, peogrenada.org, can log on to our website and they can search that voters list for any person who is registered.
Despite the layers of vetting for every application within the Parliamentary Election Office, the officials impress that it is important for citizens to review and challenge the voter registration list wherever and whenever necessary. I am Gerald Joseph for GBN News.
A digital network that will give police officers the ability to input and access police records and criminal activities with the click of a button was officially launched on Thursday. The country's top cop anticipates this would better help tackle crime in Grenada. Rena Perry-Thomas has this story.
Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin says the Royal Grenada Police Force is in a position to develop better strategies to solve crime using the newly launched Police Records Management Information System, PREMIS. 10 out of 16 police stations in Grenada have been furnished with the relevant equipment to host the PREMIS application, which applies to reduce the catalyst of youth crime, violence, and victimization. The web-based application has 26 modules that allows officers to log in crime incident information from a cause of service, civilian reports at police stations, and officer patrols. The application will manage the flow of information for criminal investigation and crime data analysis, putting all this information at the officer's fingertips. Commissioner Martin says they are striving to make Grenada safe.
Eliminates the need associated with having to search our 33 books currently required by law to retrieve information about a particular case, complainant, or accused. Moreover, it will now be possible to digitally transfer files across the force, eliminating the need for the physical transfer of files. The analysis of crime patterns, which answers the questions of where, when, why, who, what, and how incidents occur, will now be available at the click of a button.
PREMIS is one of the 3 components of the Border USAID YES project and has already been implemented in 8 Caribbean countries. It has been dubbed as a cradle-to-grave program as it is intended to follow anyone who enters the criminal justice system. Commissioner Martin explains that the application has already been piloted in 3 stations on the island.
To date, we have already trained 104 officers on PREMIS and now piloting this stage of the program at 3 of our police stations, the South St. George Police Station, St. David, and Saterres. I am convinced, colleagues, that PREMIS will be a force multiplier in enhancing the RGPF's capacity to keep our nation and people safe. The Carry Secure PREMIS system will standardize crime reporting information, contributing to valid, reliable, consistent, and comparable data, which can be used to enhance citizen security through proactive, intelligence-led policing strategies.
The application, which was developed by the Carry Secure project under the United Nations Development Program, was officially launched on Thursday. For GBN News, I am Rena Perry-Thomas reporting.
Teaching assistants from various primary schools are being trained to work with students in the classroom who may have special needs. This was implemented by the Ministry of Education, which saw the need to help students who fell behind due to interruptions of face-to-face learning caused by COVID-19. Rena Perry-Thomas has more in this report.
Local education officials are continuing efforts to tackle the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has severely affected teaching and learning among students across the nation. The latest move is aimed at addressing the issue with students who have special needs. 20 of 40 Imani teaching assistants started training at the Grenada Youth Center this week, which focuses on equipping the educators with tools that can help them better assess and assist assist students with special needs. Special Education Officer Agnes St. John reiterates that due to the effects of COVID-19 on face-to-face learning in schools, many students are finding it difficult to catch up with their school activities.
When the children come back to school, some of them will have fallen behind. So the persons who are participating in this workshop, they will be equipped to pull the children aside and work with them on an individual basis. So we all are aware that a lot of children would have fallen behind, and we just have to ensure that they are supported. Hence the reason why we are having the sessions to assist in that regard.
Special education consultant Barbara Faulkner outlined the course.
So we're teaching them start at the basics. So just we taught them how to do the assessment, and then we're looking at that assessment. Do the students even know their letters? If they don't know their letters, we need to start there. Do they know their sounds? Maybe we need to start there. So they're starting at the very, very basics. We're not assuming that just because a child is maybe, let's say, in second grade, we're going to start teaching second grade work. That's not what we're doing, because maybe they're missing some of those really basic first grade skills. So we need to start there.
Some of the participants shared what they have learned so far.
I've learned being a teacher, you have to be very patient with the students, and you somewhat have to bring yourself down to their level to really understand them.
We learned different strategies we can use, and we also learned about the assessment form that we can use to assist children when they enter the grade, so that we know where they're at the moment and what we need to help them with in order to go through for them to succeed.
You learn different technique as to how to fully access a child. Like we have these sensory balls and we have the emotion bottle. So if a child you're not getting a child's attention, or the child is misbehaving, you use the sensory balls to give them it so they can play with it, and like for them to calm themselves. And after, once you notice you got their attention, then you can move forward in your process or your learning.
The remaining 20 teaching assistants are also meeting at the Hermitage Community Center this week. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
And finally, in the first segment of news, the Royal Grenada Police Force is seeking the assistance of the general public in locating a missing teenager. 16-year-old Tessira John, a student of Shantymill St. Patrick, reportedly left home last week Wednesday about 8 p.m. and has not returned since. According to a news release from the Royal Grenada Police Force on Thursday, she was last seen wearing a black hoodie, black leggings with a cornrow hairstyle. She is described as about 5 feet in height, slim built and brown in complexion. Anyone seeing Tessira John or has any information about the 16-year-old's whereabouts is asked to contact the Cites Police Station at 442-9224, Police Emergency 911, Police Hotline at 444-1958, or the nearest police station. This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Coming up, excursion being planned for this weekend as revelers gear up for the return of Kayak Mass. Stay with us.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
On Sunday, February 27th, Mega Force Promotions presents the 36th edition of Waggy Team Virtual Bingo. Purchase a ticket now for your chance to win US $10,000. Tickets cost only $10. Get yours today from numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. If you're playing overseas, tickets are only available at gotofat.com. So if you need cash now, remember, Sunday, February 27th, join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy Team Virtual Bingo and win.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
My grandson feel he was a big man before he reached secondary school. Telling me about new gadgets to make life easy. But he busting up the food his granny cook with her 2 hands. And Kern's a good boy. I know. I raised him. I know he doesn't like seeing me work too hard. He worries. Before I had my first heart attack, he was excited to live near his university campus. So I felt guilty when he decided to live at home to take care of me. And getting to class and back, he would travel, he said. But I got him a little car anyway, much safer. Graduated, recently got married, and he's doing well for himself with all his tech. He still thinks he knows more than me, but to be honest, I don't know how I would have managed without him.
Your life is your story. Let's help you write it on your terms.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. Since Tuesday's announcement of the return of Spice Mass 2022, there have been new releases of music by local artists. As we hear in this Chrislina John report, one music producer says the 2-year break has helped him better prepare for what's to come where his skill is concerned.
Despite the cancellation of Spice Mass for the last 2 years, some local soca artists never stopped releasing new music, while some have gone silent. But with the announcement that the country's premier cultural event is back for 2022, music producer Casimir Peck Jones says the expectations for top quality selections from musicians and producers are high.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is working, and I think that everybody would try to put out the best, and they would not, give less than that, because this year I feel like would be one of the years where the critiques on producers, artists, DJs, MCs, whoever else in the entertainment industry, it will be heavy. We all would put our best foot forward.
Jones says he has no complaints about the last 2 years because despite the pandemic and no carnival, he was still able to produce music that was well received.
No, the last 2 years, I can say that I definitely did not stop. I definitely did not, put a halt to none of my creative processes. Probably I would have taken a slower approach to it, but at the end of the day, it's all in the name of betterment.
The music producer says Tuesday's announcements filled him with excitement, knowing that he can now showcase what he has been working on. There have been challenges, however, Peck is optimistic that this year will see a bumper product from artists.
The announcement got me hyped, to be honest. The announcement got me, pumped and motivated and encouraged as well, knowing that we work so hard in putting together a catalog that would speak about our mass and speak about our people, promoting the job and promoting our culture.
The Spice Mass Corporation is expected to release more details about Carnival 2022 in a news conference next week. In the meantime, revelers on the mainland are gearing up for Kayak Mass. Stephen Slum Jacob says as he warms up for what's to come in August, all roads lead to Carriacou this weekend as he leads an excursion to the Sister Isle on Saturday. Kayak Mass is on this weekend, and Slum says there's still work to be done for Spice Mass after such a long break, and hopefully they will get there.
We're going to be using the boat to go to Carriacou on Saturday, so we have an excursion going to Carriacou, and the real purpose of that is to show support because we're always in Carriacou. We're in Carriacou a lot of years, and to hear that it's going to happen again, we feel good, and right now we're getting ready for Carriacou. We're just working on that.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
The Catholic Church has embarked on a worldwide 3-year process of engagement with members and non-Catholics, a move away from the historical norm of a meeting with bishops in Rome. It is part of Pope Francis's decision to include more people in the decision-making process of the Catholic Church. Let's hear more from Chrislina John.
Members of the Catholic faith, active and non-participating, as well as members of the Grenadian community, are being given a rare opportunity to make an impact on the future of the Church. This as Pope Francis invited the Universal Church to participate in the Synod process, where Catholic Church leaders traditionally discuss and address issues relevant to the Church. Sister Roxanne Nichols of the Sorrowful Mother in Grenada says each local church has the responsibility to listen to the people of God, which includes non-Catholics.
So we just want to listen in order for us to truly grow and to really carry out the mission, which is the mission of evangelization, bringing Christ to others. And we believe that, Catholic or not, we all have something to share. We are all children of God. And together our whole aim is to help each other develop to the best of our ability to become the best human person that we can.
Sister Nichols says they are now preparing to engage persons outside the walls of the Catholic Church.
To find persons coming out on the street to engage you. we're just asking kindly that you give them a moment of your time and to just share honestly, share your honest truth to them. We really want to genuinely hear from you and to listen to what you have to say. So I just want to encourage you to please feel free to engage them and to participate fully as you can.
Adrian Strachan, member of the diocese, explains how they intend to execute this. It begins with dialogue, listening to what people has to say.
In the first session, there's a focus on a central question of journeying together and what has been persons' experiences, how persons have experienced church. Move on to what we call round 2, where persons now have the opportunity to share on something that may have touched them, based on what they would have heard someone else share on, or what the Spirit might have moved within their heart during the period of silence.
He says a central theme will be drawn from the dialogues held, and then the notes will be collected, which will be put together. The themes will be presented to the church, then to the church representation in the region, and then presented to the Pope in Rome. Christelina John, GBN News.
And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Akeisha John has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
10 months imprisonment. Justice was swift for a St. George's businessman who was arrested and charged for inflicting a wound on a senior police officer that required 5 stitches. That's tonight's buzz as GBN brought this story, and you, our online audience, took to the comments section to air your views. And while some of you expressed concern with the length of the sentence, others were taken aback that the judgment came quickly. Let's take in some of the comments. Susan Steele, he should have gotten 1.5 years to 2 years. The court should have sent a stronger message than that. What was this gentleman speaking about justice was served? So because he was unaware the guy was an officer of the law and he is sorry and apologetic after the fact, means he deserves less time? What message is sending to the public? So an ordinary man could have gotten worse. Ezra and Forrester, and more alcohol factory in the making, more drunk and disorderly. Anne Yearwood, officer or common citizen, he has absolutely no right to strike anyone. A life is a life. No human is in higher caliber than the other. Choose your words carefully. Stop classifying. Ben Martin, the law is not about right or wrong. I think the police officer is very genuine. Money is not everything, but I also think the person who provoked the fight should be sent to jail too. Too many people just go about provoking others, and when they react, the innocent get the judgment. Provocation is against the law. Gladalina Roberts, swift justice should also be given to the victims of crime also. Earl Maitland, swift justice when an officer is assaulted, but delayed justice when others, including our children, are. Navia Newman, this story amazes me. I am amazed because I never knew our justice system operated so swiftly. It is comforting to know that when an officer is assaulted, the perpetrator is held accountable and punished accordingly. Wouldn't it be equally comforting if child molesters face the same fate? And that's a wrap for tonight's buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, telecommunications official joins fight for reparations. We'll tell you more after the break.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
At
Southern Electrical, you get the best value, quality products, and expert advice. We are the #1 supplier of residential, commercial, and industrial electrical products in Grenada. View our latest arrivals of wall lights for interior and exterior, beautiful chandeliers, pendants, solar motion lights, kitchen appliances such as crispy air fryer ovens, crepe makers, countertop grills, and more. Visit Southern Electrical at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George. We also ship to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Call our telephone number 444-3042, WhatsApp 405-4993, or browse our website www.segrenada.com.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Get the kind of value you love that's unmatched at Courts Now. We're unmatched in quality and prices. Get appliances, electronics, furniture, and much more. You will love it. Get it now and pay nothing for 30 days with Ready Finance. Plus, shop now and get a chance to win a luxury staycation for two. Now that's unmatched value. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends February 28, 2022.
It's finally here. The long-awaited historical drama, Julian Fedon, is finally here. One man with a sense of destiny. 14,000 slaves with a dream and a promise.
Tonight we stand our ground. Tonight we stand on the side of history.
Julian Fedon, presented by Heritage Theatre Company in conjunction with the Grenada Broadcasting Network, the Grenada Cooperative Bank, the Grenada National Lotteries Authority. Opening Saturday, 12 February, 7 p.m. at the Trade Center, and continuing. Experience the conflict.
Close down their churches, every one of them.
Feel the passion. The epic drama of a people caught up in a desperate struggle for freedom.
Seems to me like you are trying to get yourself killed.
Julian Fedon, bring out the entire family and enjoy an experience in Grenadian theatre.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back. Director of Government Affairs of the Digital Group, Kyron Mulvey, says his company is committed to working along with Caribbean leaders in ensuring countries within the region receive reparations for slavery. He acknowledged that already discussions have been held with some Caribbean leaders on the issue.
Our chairman is engaged in some negotiations with prime ministers around the issue of slavery compensation. This is a profound and lasting injustice in the Caribbean. And as an Irishman, whose people suffered transportation to the Caribbean as slaves and indentured servants, we understand this argument. We don't need to be convinced of it. And we will be endeavouring with the prime ministers of the region to ensure the former colonial powers, largely in Europe, will fail to do call them to account for what they have failed to do since independence was granted to Caribbean nations.
He says while this is a delicate matter to discuss, which involves many parties, it is important to the people of the region.
To me, this is one of the most important issues facing the Caribbean into the future, that those former colonial powers must have a commitment to ensure the economic and development of the Caribbean, and that programs be developed and financial measures made available to achieve those targets. We will be working as a company, and particularly our chairman, in this regard.
And now it's time for us to take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
On tonight's eyesore, our citizen journalists captured a video of where truckers have continuously dumped mud, garbage, and debris along the roadside of Hopefield, making the area very unsightly, unhealthy, and dangerous. Our eyesore reporter says, quote, "You hire the truckers to move mud and stuff away from the construction site and dump them in an authorized location. They take your money and then they dump the stuff where and when they think people are not looking. Look at what truckers are doing in Hopefield. They literally turned the side of the road into a dump site. The road is now smaller as a result and very muddy and dangerous when it rains. Whoever is doing it, please stop, or else whoever is caught will be responsible for cleaning the entire area," unquote. We thank our citizen journalists for this submission. Remember to send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or other social media platforms.
Stay with us. The weather is up next, and then we get into sports, regional, and international news.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Glenwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Sunday, February 27th. It's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
This is the last time that you will hear me for a while. This is the last time that you will hear me for a while.
Don't miss the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Tune in to this station Sunday, February 27th, 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time, 2 p.m. Jamaica Time.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Here's the public weather forecast for the state of Grenada. Tonight's minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius. The weather will be partly cloudy with light isolated showers, increasing in cloudiness by early morning with some light to moderate showers. Winds will be northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides will be high at 9:30 tonight and low at 3 a.m. On Friday, sunrise is at 6:26 a.m. and sunset 6:17 p.m. It will be partly cloudy with a few light to moderate daytime showers, becoming mostly cloudy at night with light to moderate showers and the low chance of thunder. Getting into the weekend, Saturday, sunrise is at 6:26 a.m. and sunset 6:17 p.m. It will be mostly cloudy with light to moderate showers and the low chance of thunder during the morning, improving during the evening. And then on Sunday, sunrise and sunset 6:25 and 6:17 respectively. It will be partly cloudy with some light to moderate morning showers. And that's the weather report and forecast valid for tonight and the next 3 days. Stay tuned. Sports is next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's kick off with football. The Grenada Football Association Premier League resumes on Saturday. August 2021 was the last time games were played under the Premier League before a major COVID outbreak on the island. Although 6 months have passed, fans are still not allowed to spectate any of the 5 matches carded for this weekend. In those games, Shantymel FC takes on FC Camajon at Full Playing Field at 5 p.m. Then at 7:15 p.m. the other 4 matches will kick off simultaneously at grounds across the island. Hard Rock FC goes toe-to-toe with Hurricanes SC at Full Playing Field. Queen's Park Rangers hosts Eagles Super Strikers at the National Stadium. A match between St. John's Sports and Paradise FCI kicks off at Cuthbert Peters Park, and Sab Spartans SC and Mountwich SC go head-to-head at Victoria Park. Moving now to cricket, 3 matches were played on Wednesday in the GCIC Intersector Windball Cricket Tournament. In Game 1, SLS Titans finished with 104 for 8 in 15 overs and bowled out Huggins Pacers in 7.3 overs as they finished on 53. In Game 2, Prison secured a win with 192 for 3 in 15 overs after toppling GUT Teachers 189 for 6. In the third game of the evening, Nawasa made 87, losing 4 wickets in 7 overs after chasing Mount Cinnamon Hitters 85 for 8 in 15 overs. In football, UEFA Champions League final will be moved from Russia after the country invaded Ukraine. European soccer's governing body is governing an emergency meeting of its top board members on Friday after deciding to strip St. Petersburg, Russia from hosting the Champions League final, the biggest club game of the year after Russia's invasion of Ukraine on Thursday. The governing body UEFA had resisted taking the measure earlier this week, even after the country moved into 2 rebel-held parts of Ukraine and after its president, Vladimir Putin, announced Russia had formally recognized them as independent republics. UEFA took the measure after Russia's invasion began early Thursday. Sky Sports News broke the news today.
Sky Sports News has confirmed that UEFA is going to move this year's Champions League final from St. Petersburg in the wake of what's happened today and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There was a great deal of speculation about whether or not that would happen. There were a lot of calls for UEFA to make that move and make sure that the Champions League final would not happen on Russian soil in St. Petersburg. And Sky News has confirmed that UEFA will indeed move that final.
And finally, we move now to tennis, when Novak Djokovic has been knocked out of the Dubai Tennis Championships, falling in straight sets 6-4, 7-6 to Czech Republic's Jiří Veselý. Veselý, who had to battle through qualifying to reach the quarterfinal stage, beat Djokovic in 1 hour and 59 minutes to progress to the semis. The result means Daniil Medvedev will be the new world #1 from next week, which will be the first time since 2004 it is not either Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Djokovic or Andy Murray. Here are some highlights of the match.
No mistake this time. Jiří Veselý takes out Novak Djokovic in Dubai. It is the second time they've taken to the court together, and on both occasions Veselý the victor. Monte Carlo 6 years ago, and tonight under the lights. This will see a shuffling in the pack at the top of the world order.
And that means Djokovic is no longer world #1 in tennis. And that brings us to the end of tonight's sports report. Stay tuned. Regional and international developments are next. Tonight's One Caribbean hookup begins in Antigua and Barbuda, where the Attorney General and Labour Minister, Stedroy Benjamin, has confirmed that discussions are to begin shortly on a possible increase in the national minimum wage of Antigua and Barbuda. The minimum wage was last increased in 2015 and stands at $8.20 per hour. The minister says the broad-based consultations will be led by the Minimum Wage Advisory Committee and says several factors, including the cost of living, will be considered.
We must address this issue because we must give consideration to the increasing cost of living and inflation. Discussions will begin within the next couple of days, and the committee will meet. They will have the authority to invite persons, assessors, accountants, and any other person or body whom they think can give them information, economists, for example. Give them information as to come with a realistic national minimum wage. My government, as this government is concerned, we, however, will look at the reality of the situation. We know that there is COVID. We know it is done. Our economy will be rebounding, and we shall look at it to make certain that all workers in this land, having discussions with all appropriate stakeholders, will earn a minimum wage which will make them enjoy a reasonable standard of living to purchase what they can.
Moving now to Guyana, with new disclosures from the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that the protection provided by COVID-19 booster shots wanes after 4 months. A local health practitioner in Guyana anticipates that these shots are heading in the direction of the annual influenza vaccine. Let's get more details from HGP TV Nightly News.
It has been 3 months since COVID-19 booster doses became available in Ghana to adults. To date, an estimated 49,068 persons have accessed the jabs, which are recommended 5 months after the second dose is administered. Notwithstanding that, the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recently announced that the protection from the third shot decreases after 4 months. This development necessitates a fourth dose to increase the antibody levels among vaccinated individuals to prevent them from becoming critically ill. The question is, should the world be prepared to get boosters for the rest of the SARS-CoV-2's lifespan, which is being touted as evolving from a pandemic to endemic format? Paul Chetty, a medical microbiologist who has been involved in the local fight to contain COVID-19, recently opined that with the emergence of new variants, COVID-19 shots could become mandatory annually, much like the flu vaccine, and possibly for the rest of our lives.
I think this adds to the argument that this vaccination process may be a yearly one, where we need to update our immune response, so to speak. Because we're going to continue to have, as long as the virus persists, we're going to continue to have other variants. And what that will mean is that our protection against a new variant will not be the same as what we had to the previous variant.
He said even though health authorities are taking ambitious steps to achieve herd immunity, it may not be attainable even with high vaccination rates.
We will always have variants. We don't have, if we look at Omicron or look at COVID in the same way that we look at influenza, we do not have herd immunity against influenza. Influenza is a yearly virus. You will always get it.
And now let's move internationally. Overnight, Russia launched its long-awaited attack on Ukraine, striking military posts across the country in the biggest attack in Europe since World War II. Ukraine's health minister says so far 57 people have been killed and 160 wounded. Let's get more from BBC News.
Until early this morning, some here in Kiev doubted that he would do it. Not anymore. The West warned Vladimir Putin was about to attack. He said he had no such plans. That fiction now utterly exposed. Explosions right across this vast country. In Ivano-Frankivsk, in the far southwest, a missile struck an airport. Unverified images from Ukraine's northern and southern borders seem to show columns of Russian armor entering from Belarus and Crimea. Within hours, Russian tanks were reported to be on the streets of Ukraine's second-largest city, Kharkiv. Whatever Russia says, this attack will not be surgical. To the east of Kharkiv, emergency workers battle to control fires in residential buildings hit by rockets. The number of civilian casualties is rising. At Mariupol in the south, another airport on fire. This country's civilian infrastructure is being heavily struck. There are no more flights in or out. A glance at the map shows a country under attack from east to west, north to south. Earlier, a snarling Russian leader said this was all in self-defense and warned Ukrainians to lay down their arms.
We will strive for the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine. Russia cannot feel safe, develop and exist with a constant threat emanating from the territory of modern Ukraine.
In Kiev, Ukraine's embattled president, who must now fear for his job, appealed to the world.
Putin started a war against Ukraine, against the whole democratic world. He wants to destroy my country. He wants to destroy our country, everything we have been building, what we live for.
So far, all the signs are that this attack is working out exactly the way Western leaders have been warning for weeks. The country is being attacked from all directions, and the fear now has to be that some of those Russian troops are heading here to the capital. Some people aren't waiting to find out what happens next. The roads out of Kiev jammed with traffic, most of it heading west. These people don't want to be liberated by Vladimir Putin. After weeks of extraordinary calm, this suddenly looks like panic.
And of course, the world watches as the situation continues to unfold in Ukraine. That's the end of regional and international news. We'll recap the headlines right after this. And now let's look back at what made news tonight. Officials predict $15 cap on a gallon of gas could be in jeopardy as oil prices jump following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. RGPF to develop better strategies to solve crime with the launch of Premise app. Students with special needs to get extra attention following learning interruptions caused by COVID-19. Excursion being planned for this weekend as revelers gear up for the return of kayak mass. In regional news, Guyanese health practitioner believes COVID-19 shots could become an annual requirement. Internationally, 57 people were killed and over 160 wounded as Russia invades Ukraine. In sports, GFA's Premier League resumes this weekend after 6 months' absence. That's the end of GBN News for Thursday, February 24th, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. On behalf of the entire GBN News team, enjoy the rest of your thankful Thursday.